From the human cellular perspective, the construction of this body will be a gloriously enjoyable 1,000-year period of intercontinental cooperation. From a spiritual perspective, it will be the birth of an organism the likes of which the universe has never seen. As the greatest gathering of interstellar space vehicles ever assembled leaves the Earth in graceful formation, the Christ child will slowly get up, look around, and push itself off into space. Yours is not a tame God to be confined in reverent concepts, but a vibrant, playful energy, the very soul and spirit of life. He comes to earth not to be somber and devout, but to dance, sing, and enjoy all that he has created. Do not allow the gravity of your planet to weigh upon your consciousness. You have been aware of the effect of gravity on material objects, but it has only been recently in your space travels that you have begun to suspect that it also binds and limits consciousness. As a species, you first began to sense this when human beings entered into orbital patterns around the Earth. In the farthest reaches of the planet's atmosphere, gravity was felt for the very first time as courtship instead of marriage. Were you listening to the reports of those first human space travelers? They were not alone in their capsules. The entire species was present with them in consciousness, as collective historical preconceptions began to fall away. Many among you looked out of their eyes and shared the feelings they felt. Gravitational forces will certainly not be done away with after the coming, but they will no longer affect human consciousness. Had the fall not taken place, they never would have. In these last few years, while the influence of matter still coexists with the rising life energies, do not conceive of your world with such gravity. Lighten up with the merriment of Christ. Even now, the awakening child is showing himself to your scientists and mathematicians through playful impossibilities that thwart all their rational explanations. He is laughingly holding up the stage props of contemporary contentions, running to and fro, catching them as they fall, seeing how long he can keep his presence a surprise. Do you remember when you were small children and the world seemed fun and exciting? Be like those little children again. Come play with us in the wonderland of matter. It is long years that you have dreamed of your entry into these realms. Your dream has come true. Wake up and see where you are. If the world sees the happy exuberance of the awakening Creator shining in your eyes and thinks that it is irresponsible in light of this or that growing crisis, patiently explain to them what is happening. Tell them something of the new perspective. In the moment of your presence, in the moment of your being, tell them what you are experiencing and what they might experience too. Let them see that your happiness, your peace, and your serenity are not yours alone, but the reflection in your life of a being who will always be at his greatest ease. Do not let this preview of what is to come distract you from the work that lies ahead. Do not store the specifics of this vision in your mind and then expound upon them with rational extrapolations. Feel the spirit of all that we have been saying. Embody it practically in your daily living. The vision is real, but there are steps that need to occur before what is already done in spirit becomes likewise accomplished on the earth. You are the means of those steps, the mechanism that the Lord has designed to implement His will in the realm of form. In the stillness of your innermost being, contact Him. Gain His clarity, purpose, and direction. When you have received instructions and discovered your area of service, go forth and do what needs to be done. We are prepared to join in conscious communion those members of your species who have experienced psychological death and rebirth. Before our help can materialize, however, there must be more openings on human levels. We are unable to commune with humans whose vibrational fields are distorted by ego factors, emotional reactions, excessive conceptualization, or past-future orientation. In such cases, our presence would force their vibrational patterns into alignment with ours, robbing them prematurely of a portion of their identity. We are only able to work with those who are consciously aware of who they are and what they are doing. With these, union becomes reunion. It is critical that you remember your origin and the purpose. Your descent into matter has reached its low point. If all that you identify with is not to be annihilated in entropic collapse, you must begin waking up, begin living. You have been dead to the most important part of yourself all these years of your history. But your time in the sarcophagus is complete. You shall no more be consumed in the fires of faithlessness. Arise, then, from the ashes of ignorance, and rejoin the cosmic brotherhood. The time of separation has come. There are but two roads before you. You can walk in the innocence of those who trust in the Lord, or perish in the impending collapse of your rational systems. The choice, as it always has been, is yours. Chapter 6, A Psychological Process. Everything that you need exists in this present moment, and this moment is all that exists. In its brief flicker, you will find all the time in the world. Through it, you will contact the living information that will guide you with infallible direction. This present moment is the stargate through which you will leave the prison of human definition and expand into an awareness of divine perception. It is the crack between the worlds, not only the worlds of past and future, but worlds of time and space, spirit and matter, form and being. It is a timeless zone, the gateway through which you will again begin to participate in the adventure of creation. Your entry into the eternal awesomeness of the present moment, into the presence of God, will be through what we call a psychological process. This process is a process of identity shift, a process through which balance is restored in your awareness of the two realities. Through it, you begin to realize that you are not the form you animate, but the force of animation itself. Through it, you will reawaken to an awareness of all that you are in spirit and in wholeness. It is a process that will return you to a state of grace, a state of health, a state of intimate association with all that is. This state already exists, it always has, yet most human beings are blinded to it by the incessant machinations of the rational thought processes that they worship instead of God and His simple truth. It is important that you recognize the creative power of your thoughts, a power far beyond your knowledge. As long as you think negatively, life will only allow you a token share of consciousness, lest you spread disease. But the moment your thoughts are of love and life, the Lord will flood you with His own awareness, and you will enjoy the wonder of His perception. You were born to share in His creative power. The stuff of which you are made is so charged with the ability to create that everything you touch comes to life, every thought, every identity, every image. You are the energizing force of the material plane, the bringer of life, the bestower of blessing, and the sustainer of illusion. Through you, God is able to enter the very heart of creations. Through you, God is revealed in material form. You are both child of God and child of matter, yet you cannot serve both masters. Whatsoever you bind in consciousness will be bound in matter. Whatsoever you bind in matter will be bound in consciousness. You are the creator at this time of your own reality. If you would know the creator of a great reality, lay down your thoughts as you would a hoe after a day in the garden. The greater reality calls you now. You are required in its service. Your embryonic period is over. Gestation is complete. The moment of birth at hand.